Have you ever wondered which empires were so vast that they covered massive portions of our planet? Throughout history, the rise and fall of empires have not only redrawn maps, but have also woven the intricate tapestry of human civilization. An empire's greatness can often be measured by its size, the extent of its influence, and the duration of its reign. These colossal domains shaped societies, cultures, and histories across continents. Let's dive into the tales of the 10 largest empires in history, starting with the sun never setting on the British Empire. At its zenith, the British Empire was the largest empire in world history. Spanning from the late 15th century to the late 20th century, it marked an era where the phrase, "the sun never sets on the British Empire," became a literal truth. This empire covered a staggering 33 million square kilometers, encompassing nearly 23% of the Earth's total landmass. With London as its pulsing heart and capital, the British Empire wielded unparalleled influence across the globe. It was more than just a collection of territories. It was a complex network of trade, politics, and culture that left indelible marks on the continents it touched. From the bustling markets of Asia to the vast expanses of Africa and the sugarcane fields of the Caribbean, the British flag once fluttered far and wide. This empire was instrumental in shaping the modern world, weaving together diverse peoples through commerce, conflict, and colonization. From India to the Caribbean, the British Empire's legacy is still evident today. Now, imagine an empire built not by settlers, but by warriors on horseback. This was the Mongol Empire, established in 1206 under the formidable leadership of Genghis Khan. Stretching from Eastern Europe across Asia to the Sea of Japan, it was the largest contiguous land empire in history. Genghis Khan, born Temujin, unified the Mongol tribes through alliances and conquests. His military strategies were revolutionary, incorporating speed, espionage, and fear to expand his territories. The empire's expansion under his rule was rapid, effective, and brutal. Cities that surrendered were spared, but those that resisted faced total destruction. The capital, Karakorum, situated in modern-day Mongolia, became a cosmopolitan center of commerce, politics, and culture. Here, the Silk Road found new life under Mongol protection, facilitating unprecedented cultural exchanges between the East and the West. The Mongols reshaped the continents they touched, forging new connections between the East and West. Spanning 3 continents, this empire was a colossus of the north. The Russian Empire, vast and formidable, stretched from the freezing Arctic in the north to the warm Black Sea in the south, and from the Baltic Sea in the west to the Pacific Ocean in the east. It was one of the largest contiguous empires in history, a frozen giant whose heart beat in the grand city of St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg, envisioned by Tsar Peter the Great, was more than just the capital. It was a symbol of Russia's ambition to modernize and exert influence on a global scale. Under the rule of various czars, this city on the Neva River transformed into a cultural and architectural marvel, reflecting the empire's growing power and sophistication. The size and might of the Russian Empire were unparalleled, influencing not only the regions it directly controlled, but also the geopolitical dynamics of neighboring areas. The policies and conflicts of this empire helped shape the borders and nations of modern Eurasia. The Russian Empire set the stage for the modern geopolitical landscape of Eurasia. Gold, God, and glory drove the expansion of the next empire on our list. The Spanish Empire, spanning from 1469 to 1975, was among the first truly global empires, its reach stretching from the misty peaks of the Andes to the lush islands of the Philippines. The heart of this vast empire was Madrid, a city that pulsed not just with the wealth of its colonies, but with the fervent desire to explore unknown lands. The conquistadors, driven by the promise of immense riches and the fervor of their faith, carved out territories across the Americas. Their quests led to the establishment of sprawling colonies and the unfortunate downfall of many indigenous civilizations. In the Philippines, their influence melded local cultures with European traditions, shaping a unique colonial legacy. Madrid, the capital, was not only the administrative heart, but also the cultural soul of the empire. fostering an era of art, literature, and scientific exploration known as the Spanish Golden Age. The Spanish Empire left a lasting cultural and linguistic legacy across 4 continents. In the East, a dynasty rose that would rule over the world's oldest continuous civilization. The Qing dynasty, established in 1644 by the Icene-Joro clan from Manchuria, not only marked the expansion but also the zenith of Chinese imperial power. Under the Qing, China's borders swelled to include Taiwan, Tibet, and parts of Mongolia, with Beijing serving as the nerve center of this vast empire. This period saw a profound consolidation of power, culture, and territorial integrity. The Qing emperors such as Kangxi and Qianlong were patrons of the arts and presided over periods of significant cultural flourishing. However, they also enforced strict social order through systems like the notorious Q order, which mandated the Manchu hairstyle on all Han Chinese men. Despite its might, internal rebellions, external pressures, and a failure to modernize led to the dynasty's gradual decline. The revolution of 1911 finally brought down the curtain on more than 2 millennia of imperial rule. The Qing dynasty's fall marked the end of imperial rule in China, ushering in a new era. Now let's explore the vast Islamic empires that once spanned from Europe to Asia. First, the Umayyad Caliphate, established in 661, after the end of the Rashidun Caliphate. Under the leadership of Caliph Muawiyah the Umayyad Caliphate expanded rapidly. Its territories stretched from the Iberian Peninsula in the west to the Indus River in the east, covering over 15 million square kilometers, making it one of the largest empires in history. The capital was initially Damascus, a city that became a cultural and economic hub under their rule. This period saw the beginning of an architectural and artistic evolution, which included the construction of the Great Mosque of Damascus, one of the oldest and largest mosques in the world. Transitioning to the Abbasid Caliphate, which began in 750. The descendants of Abbas, the uncle of the Prophet Muhammad, shifted the capital from Damascus to Baghdad, newly founded in 766. Baghdad soon blossomed into a pinnacle of learning and culture, famously housing the House of Wisdom. Here, scholars of various backgrounds gathered to contribute to the fields of astronomy, mathematics, medicine, and philosophy. The Abbasids were instrumental in the flourishing of the Islamic Golden Age, a period marked by significant advancements in science and the arts. Lastly, the Rashidun Caliphate, the first of the Islamic caliphates, established just after the Prophet Muhammad's death in 632. Although it lasted only until 661, its impact was monumental. The caliphate was led by 4 of the Prophet's closest companions, known for their devout faith and leadership qualities. The Rashidun army achieved rapid territorial expansion, spreading Islamic teachings and law throughout the conquered regions. The administrative and military frameworks they developed set the foundations for the vast empires that followed. These caliphates not only expanded territorially, but also enriched the world culturally and scientifically. While Islamic empires flourished in the East, European powers were not far behind. In the annals of history, the French Empire stands out, spanning from 1534 to 1980. It began with the early colonies in North America and the Caribbean, and stretched to the remote islands of the Pacific. French explorers, driven by a desire for new territories and trade routes, carved out a vast empire that influenced global politics and economics. The impact of French colonial rule can still be felt today in the language, law, and cultural practices across continents. Meanwhile, the Portuguese Empire, beginning in 1415 with the capture of Ceuta and enduring until 1999 with the handover of Macau, was one of the first truly global empires. Its navigators pushed the boundaries of the known world, establishing footholds in Africa, Asia, and South America. The legacy of the Portuguese is evident in the widespread use of the Portuguese language and the blending of cultures seen in many parts of the world. These empires were instrumental in shaping the political boundaries and cultural landscapes we know today. As we have seen, empires can be as diverse as they are powerful. From the vast reaches of the British Empire to the fearsome expanse of the Mongol horde, each empire left an indelible mark on the cultures and lands they dominated. The Umayyad and Abbasid caliphates spread their religious and cultural influence far beyond their borders, while the architectural and philosophical contributions of the Qing dynasty still resonate today. While these empires have all but faded into history, their legacies continue to influence our world in profound ways.